What is going on, friends? Peter Moriarty here. Great to have you here. If you are watching on the live, please make sure you say hello and let me know where you are watching from. If you're on the restream, say hello in the comments as well. Let me know where you are. We've got customers and audience all over the world, which is pretty darn cool. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through what is new with Google Workspace. We do this usually every couple of months, but it's been a little while since I've done one of these. But I'm going to cover 3 months of updates to Google Workspace, which is going to be quite a few. But that's all right. I'm going to get through it as quickly as possible. And this video is all about picking out what are the updates that are actually useful to small and medium-sized business owners or IT executives. And so if you're someone who's working with Google Workspace, I try and pick out the updates that are actually going to be useful for you, so you're not wading through the Google Updates blog and trying to make sense of what's in there. I try and make it easy for you and give you just ones that I think are important and or notable. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, if you're interested in checking these out yourself, you can always go here to the Google Workspace Updates blog, and you can read all of them here as they come out. You can even subscribe to this if you want, but every little change that Google makes it to that blog. So it wouldn't be my recommendation to try and read everyone. Just watch our updates when they happen, and I promise I'll make these a little more frequent for you. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. Our first update is for Google Meet, and this is a simple on-the-go mode for Google Meet. Now, I really like this one. I actually only just noticed this a couple of weeks ago when I was out for a walk, joined a meeting, and it popped up and it said, hey, do you want to use on-the-go? Now, I suspect because it either took a while to roll out to my domain, or maybe it took a while for the updates to be rolled out to my phone. Who knows why? But anyway, I got the feature, and I really like this because if I'm driving along the road in the car, it basically, if I'm joining a meet, and let's not kid ourselves, we've all done it sometimes, right? I'm sure. What it does, it automatically pops up and basically gives you nice big buttons. So I'm not trying to hit the small buttons as I'm driving along if I'm on a meeting, or if I'm walking. Same thing, I can just click a button. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this mode, having tested it out, is I don't like that it's missing the image of my face. I can't share my video while I'm in this mode. And usually I like to have video on, not just because I like looking at myself, but more so because I think it humanizes the experience of meeting with someone virtually. When they can see your video, they can see your expressions. And so my preference is to have video switched on, and you can't do it with on-the-go mode. So I often find myself switching back out of this mode and switching my video camera back on. But if I'm driving, it's great for that. Makes things nice and easy. I love that one, Google. Thank you. That should be in your app already. We're going from the oldest to the newest. So this was released way back in November. I'm assuming it's been released to everyone since then. It does say November 15. It sent it out to everyone. All right, cool. So next up, and I've got a little bit of interference on my video here. I'm going to close off one of my windows. See if that helps me here. Bear with me for one moment. I'm connected to an external display, and I think that's giving me some trouble. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Yes, that's looking much better now. Okie dokie. So our second update here is video calling in Google Meet. They're calling it one-on-one video calls, cloud encrypted, just like everything in the Google world is encrypted. But effectively what you're able to do here is call someone as if it's a phone call. And you actually have the option to call somebody right from a Google chat, which is pretty cool. You can see here, I assume this is in either the Gmail or the Google Meet app. That the GIF is showing here. I wonder what app that is. I don't know what app that is. But I do know that you can do it right from chat. So if you're chatting to someone, you can actually hit the call button inside of chat from your mobile phone, which I think is pretty darn groovy. Now, here's the thing with this. Google had this feature when we had Hangouts many, many years ago. And when Google rewrote Hangouts as Meet, they didn't build this feature back into Meet. And it's taken, I think, about 3 years for them to rebuild that feature. So what the hell, Google? This was a great feature. And the ability to either audio call or video call someone while on the go like it was a phone call and their phone would ring was brilliant. And in the 3 years we've had to wait for Google to rebuild this feature, I reckon most people have probably forgotten that it actually was a feature. And this is something that I think really stinks about the way that Google does product development, and particularly how they do launches. Usually an app is rewritten from the ground up, and sometimes that makes sense. I understand that. I run software teams inside our company, and I totally get it. But sometimes we lose features that people actually like, and Google takes years to re-implement them, or sometimes we don't see them again. And I really think they screwed the pooch with this one. It sucks that we haven't had this feature for 3 years. It's nice to get it back, but honestly, I have a bitter taste in my mouth that Google took it away in the first place, and I think that's a bit of a bummer. But anyway, hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? We sign up for Workspace, we take the good with the bad. I'm really glad the feature is back. Thank you, Google, for bringing it back. And to whoever the product manager is of Google Workspace, we appreciate you. Keep bringing good features to Meet and everything else. I think you're doing a wonderful job overall as things are right now. Okay, our next one here is homepage on the Google Drive mobile app. Basically, it's a redesign of the Google Drive app. And you can see here that you've got a few different options here that have changed inside the Drive app. The thing that I love the most is they've finally put the starred button right down there in the menu. Now, there's lots of folders that I have starred inside my Google Drive, and I want to access them quickly. And starring a file or starring a folder in Google Drive basically should have that feature. But for me to access them previously, I would have to go, I think it was like 2 or 3 button clicks, I can't remember exactly where it was, to find my starred files. And I would often use this when I was at a checkout and wanting to scan a receipt into my Google Drive. I'd want to put it in the right folder, depending on which business or which area of the business that receipt was related to. And I'd have to dig like 3 or 4 buttons to find the starred files. Now I can hit starred, and then I can automatically go straight into the folder where I want to find those files. So love that feature. Thank you, Google, for bringing that in. Big thumbs up from me having starred there. You can see here it's also got a different view for suggested. It's got the list of files for suggested here. You can switch to the box file view, but it just basically gives you more options that are AI and machine learning driven to highlight what Google thinks are going to be the most useful documents for you. So big thumbs up with Google. Love that feature. Well done. Okay, our next update. You can take action on Google Drive requests and comments directly in Google Chat. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that if you have Google Drive added to your chat, and I would recommend this, so you just open up a new chat, type in Google Drive, and it's an app that you can add, and it just sits there, and it basically gives you your Google Drive notifications inside your chat. So instead of waiting to get them in email, and we all know email is very distracting, you can actually get access to those right inside your Google Chat. So the thing that I love about that is that allows me to see, okay, if someone has shared a document with me, if someone has requested me to share a document with them, that's the most common one that I use it for. This news update is saying that you can reply to comments there. Yeah, cool, that's pretty useful. But what I find myself using this feature for the most is when someone requests access to a file because someone's messed up the sharing settings, or maybe I say to my PA, hey, can you grab that meeting recording that we just had and share that with someone else so they can, recap on what we just talked about in that meeting. There'll be a share request that comes through because I'm the owner of the file, being that I scheduled the meeting, and I can just share it from there without having to go into my email, without having to go into my Google Drive, without having to find the file and the link and manually share it. I love the share requests feature of that. So that's right there inside your chat. If you want to go check that out, go to your chat and you just open up a new chat. Actually, I may as well show you guys how to do that. Hey, let's see, make sure that before I switch to my chat, there's nothing incriminating in there. Nope, that's fine. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so here I am in my chat. Apologies, it's in dark mode. It's going to make it hard for you guys to see. Can I switch that? Yeah, there we go. All right, wonderful. So I'm in my chat here, and if I want to open up and add a new app, I'm just going to go ahead and search for Google Drive, and hopefully it should come up. There we go, Google Drive, the app. I just go ahead and click on Google Drive, the app, and here we go. It's automatically brought up the Google Drive app. So you can see here, there's some share requests I got yesterday for meetings. That's what prompted me to share that example. We've got other documents here. We've even got some comments here that I can, it appears not yet reply to directly here, but I can at least open the document. Maybe I haven't yet had that feature rolled out. And that's the weird thing with Google is, unfortunately from time to time, they don't always roll out all of the features immediately, even if the features say this will be available at a certain point in time. And let's have a look at this document and see when this one was. Okay, November 14, full rollout. For some reason, it's not yet in my account. I don't know if that's because we're down under and we get things a bit more slowly down here sometimes. That is a legitimate reason. From time to time, Google will delay rollouts of certain features to certain geographical regions. But the challenge here is there's no there's no indication. So sometimes Google will say, hey, yeah, this has been released on rapid release, scheduled release, yet I still can't see the feature. So I don't know if maybe I need to switch it on. Let's check the admin settings. Is there any admin settings? No. Usually Google would say if there were admin settings. But yeah, for whatever reason, I mean, I've got the Google Chat app, but for whatever reason, I can't access this particular feature. So a little bit frustrating, a little bit annoying there. That happens from time to time, but not much that we can do about it. Next update, okie dokie, full screen task lists in Google Calendar. I love that. All right, so what do we got here? Google has basically taken their tasks, which usually live in the sidebar of your Google Drive, of your Gmail. Remember, they're consolidating all their apps and putting a sidebar alongside each one of them, and you can access your tasks from there. But what they've done here is they've basically put all of your tasks inside your Google Calendar. And so now what you have is the ability to see one view with all your tasks. Now, there used to be a web view for tasks. I think that technically was only available for shopping lists. So Google used to have this lists feature that I think they've now kind of turned into tasks, and they had lists and they had tasks and they had a third one. They even had Google Keep, which you could create lists in as well. But they're consolidating everything into tasks in one place. And to be honest, I've given Google a lot of crap about tasks over the last couple of years because it was pretty messy. Having Google Keep, having their shopping list feature, which was the only one that I actually used, and then having tasks, which first appeared in Gmail and then started appearing in your Google Chat, in the chat rooms. You know what? They've finally actually got it right. For all the crap I've given them over the last few years, Google have actually made a decent effort in consolidating all of their tasks into one place. So I'm very happy about that. Well done, Google. Thank you. And this is a really nice feature. I like the ability to go to my calendar and see all of my different lists of tasks. And I've got in my tasks a list for when I need to go to the hardware, all the things I need to buy. I've got a shopping list in there for groceries that I want to add to my shopping cart when I go down to the shops. I've got things that I want to order online in a separate list as well. And even though we're not currently using tasks for our internal team, for our task management within the company, we choose to use a separate dedicated app for that. Our choice is Asana. I am making a dedicated effort to try and use tasks just to see where this is useful for businesses. And so far, my opinion is that tasks is useful if you've got a very small team and a micro business. If you've got just 2 or 3 people in the company and you're not yet ready to move to a dedicated task or project management app, something like Asana, Monday, Rike, ClickUp, there's heaps of options out there. But if you just want to keep it really, really simple, then you may choose to just use Google Tasks. And the great thing is it's integrated with the Google Apps, not particularly sophisticated in terms of running a project or task templates or anything like that, but it does let you at least see one place where all of your tasks are. Now, excuse me for just one moment. I'm going to just close a door here. We've got a little bit of background noise happening behind me. My production assistant is going to close the door. Thank you for that. And let's get a little bit light in here. Okay, cool. And that is going to, there we go. I'm going to switch on one more light on the fly. That's what happens when we're on a live stream. From time to time, we've got to change things on the go. Okay. For whatever reason, I don't have that extra light working, but that's okay. All right. So let's move on to our next one. I'm going to say hello to those who are on chat. Thanks so much for joining. Ali is on the chat, one of our super fans. Thanks for stopping by here, Ali. Great to have you here. Always love chit-chatting. If you're here on the live, please make sure you say hello. Let me know where you're watching from if you're going to catch this on the replay. Also say hi as well. but always love catching up with our customers from all over. All right, we got to get moving. We are still in November and we've got lots to cover. We've got 3 months of updates here, so let's move through them. Okay, so next feature, the ability to star messages in Google Chat. This is not super exciting, but if you do want to save a message for later, then you can just hit the star button here, and the star button will allow you to go back to a list of your starred messages all in one place. And with those starred messages, you can find anything that you've marked for later. Doesn't do anything more fancy than that. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, gesture detection in Google Meet. This is a really interesting one, and I'm sure it's caught you out by surprise already. If not, try it out next time you're in a meeting. Put your hand up, and it will automatically recognize that you've got your hand in the air. You've got to hold it there, which is a little bit weird, and it will automatically raise the hand there. Now, I've found naturally when I'm in a meeting, I don't use this feature that much, because if I want to speak, I'm more likely just to raise a finger or raise a hand just for a moment until my colleague finds a time to naturally pause. If I'm holding my hand up still in the air and waiting for the machine learning to pick up my hand, it's just a bit weird, to be honest. It's just a bit weird. So I like this feature, Google. I can't see myself using it all that much. I tend to just hit the raise hand button in Google, which gives a little ding, and that person then knows to check in on me when there's a natural break in the conversation. I can jump in. I like hold it. If this worked in half a second, that would be great. If I just had to put one finger up, that would be great. Weirdly, if you give a thumbs up, there's a weird thumbs up animation. If you make quotation marks, Google shoots all confetti down from the sky. I think it thinks we're partying, and so it starts to do all these weird animations. Try it out the next time you're in a Google Meet. Some of them, I've got to say, they're a little bit like late 90s clip arts. Some of those animations. I mean, this one looks great, raising your hand. The animation looks great, but try some of the other clip arts, and you'll be surprised. Anyway, time to move on here. Let's move to our next feature, shareable video presentations in Google Slides. Now, I didn't know about this one until I found this document today, so I hope that you can check this out as well if you have not already, although it has been some time since I've done a live training. You can see here that Google now is giving the ability to actually record a presentation, and I assume it exports it into a video file. There we go. We've got a save to drive button. That's pretty cool. And so what this feature is allowing us to do is to turn your presentation into, I guess an interactive video, a bit like a Loom presentation. It's going to look a bit tidier than using a screencasting software. I like that. Well done, Google. Pretty groovy. I guess this would be useful for teachers, or in the example today that our CEO, Scott, is not able to make our team meeting because he's going to be on a flight. And so he wants to pre-record his portion of the team meeting and then have that played back in the meeting. So he could certainly use this. The slide deck's already prepared. He could just record over the top using this feature and then share it. I wonder if he knows about it or not. I don't know. Maybe he should watch this live stream. But I love that one. That's inside of Google Slides. Watch out for the record button in the top right-hand corner there. Love that feature, Google. Very, very cool. Okie dokie, automated data entry in Google Sheets. Now, this is an interesting one. This is related to Duet, which is Google's AI that they have built into Google Workspace. Now, you have to sign up for Duet. You don't get it automatically. So if you're interested in Duet, speak to your reseller or look for the sign up in your admin account. If you are working with IT Genius already, just send a message through to our team, help@itgenius.com, and they'll be able to hook you up with a trial for Duet. You don't have to sign up every single one of your users, which is very useful. You can do a trial as well for free, which I love, and that gives you the ability to test it out before you go ahead and pay for licenses. And I got to give you my thoughts on this. Honestly, overall, I'm not yet excited about Duet based on the price. There's not much that I've seen in Duet that I can't do in Bard or ChatGPT and cut and paste into wherever I'm working. Hey, Google, help me draft an email about blah, blah, blah. That's pretty easy to do inside of my Google account. If I want to, let's say, for example, write something and put it into a document like a contract or a position description, there's nothing stopped me going straight to my Bard or straight to my GPT, getting the work done there, and then cutting and pasting it to Google. But this feature right here is one of the first ones where I'm starting to get a little bit excited about Duet. And that is Google is showing off here an automated AI prompt that suggests using natural language to autofill fields inside of Google Sheets. This is one of the first things that's actually finally got me excited. So I like that, Google. Nice work. Let's see what you can do with Duet, because right now for the 30 odd Australian dollars per user per month that I need to pay for Duet, right now I'm not that impressed. I'm paying for ChatGPT 4. That's a great service. I'm trying to use Bard as much as possible because when things first came out, I found Bard was better at factual information, and of course we're Team Google, so I'm trying my very best to get the best out of Bard. I still use GPT from time to time because sometimes Bard stuffs things up, and I've got a video coming out on the channel covering that shortly. But I expect that Duet should be getting better and better to the point where it should become essential, and then I'll be happy to pay the extra money for it. Right now, we're still in testing, and I'd love to see Google doing more in that area. Okay, moving right along. Google Drive has, Google have added a document scanner to your Google Drive app. I love this feature, and I've been using it for the last couple of months. And honestly, I think Google have knocked it out of the park with this feature. If you're not yet using it, give it a go because it's excellent. Now, what this feature actually does is it allows you to scan a document, and it's going to, as you can see here in the GIF, it's going to find the edges of the document and automatically flatten the file, make it black and white, make it machine readable, and then automatically upload it into your Drive. Now, not only will it do that for individual documents one by one, but it will also allow you to do multiples of documents in a batch. And I was so surprised by this feature because honestly, this is the kind of thing that you would expect using something like Adobe Scan or all of the plethora of other scanning apps that you have to pay for because they're commercial apps. And I no longer need to use those apps anymore. I can just use Google. I can literally hover over a document, scan the document, and Google will automatically get ready to scan the next document. So if I've got a big pile of documents, I can scan one, move the document, scan two, move the document, scan three, move the document, and then it's actually going to put it in a PDF and upload it into my Google Drive. I love this feature. Google have knocked it out of the park. Great feature, excellent implementation. If I just want to scan one, I can click a button and just scan one. I don't even have to click the scan button on my phone. As I automatically hover, look, see it says auto capture down there? It automatically captures once it finds the document. And I just couldn't be more impressed by this. Google will sometimes half-bake their features when they build them into applications. And this means that I would never consider going back to something like Adobe Scan. I don't think I'm paying a subscription for that, but if I am, I'll cancel it. This basically gives me everything inside the Google ecosystem, which I love. It means that everything's saved in my Google account, and I can easily share it from Google Drive if I ever need to share it externally. Big thumbs up, Google. Well done on that one. Love this feature. All right. Cool. Okay. So what have we got here? Introducing a new mobile experience for Google Chat. This one, honestly, not as exciting, but I wanted to share it with you just in case you're not yet using Google Chat much on the mobile. Maybe you're someone who is still using Slack. Maybe you're still using Messenger or WhatsApp for your business text messaging. You shouldn't be. You should be using Google Chat. They've made it so good. Finally, again, it took them years to do it, but finally Google have made Google Chat awesome. And so you can see here that the home page will give you basically a summary of everything going on in chat, whether you're in a group chat in some DMs, whether you've been mentioned in a room, they're now called spaces, whether someone has bumped you by mentioning your name and actually tagging you in a conversation. You can see lots of different options here. Google Chat is just way better and way more engaging. You can even choose, if you want, to just see mentions. So the little @ sign there will just show you people that have mentioned you. And honestly, it's finally made Google so much more usable for me in the chat space. I really love it. Well done, Google. If you're not yet using chat, check it out because the app is now awesome. Now, if it hasn't occurred to you, you should be using the dedicated Google Chat app. You can use chat inside of Gmail. Most of these features are available in Gmail. but I personally recommend using the Google Chat app. Now, the reason I recommend you do that is you can completely switch off notifications for your Gmail app. And that's my recommendation, so you're not buzzed and notified by emails during the day when you're out and about. I think they're too distracting for anyone to be chained to their email when they're on the go. But you do want to have your chat available, because ideally, if you've got a team, you want to be available to your team even if you're out and about and on the go. All right, thanks Google. Great update. Love that one. One update for admins here, Google Vault is now supporting Google Calendar. If you don't know what Google Vault is, technically it's called an e-discovery service. So think about if you're a finance or a legal or a accounting company or a consulting company of some sort, and you want to make sure that you keep a safe copy of every single email that's ever gone in and out of your organization. Now, this is suitable for businesses who maybe have compliance to deal with, or maybe you'd be potentially sued one day by a customer for the advice that you've given. You need to make sure you keep a copy of every single email, even if someone deletes it from their inbox. So Gmail, it's not quite Gmail, it includes Gmail. What Google Vault does is Google Vault actually keeps a carbon copy of everything that goes in and out of your business in a special vault. And you do have to pay per user, but if you're on the upper tiers of the Google business accounts, you do get access to it for free on some accounts, which is pretty cool. But you can see here that all these different Google services are supported by Google Vault. And Google Vault has now added calendar to this, meaning that everyone's calendar entries will automatically be saved anytime a calendar entry is created or scheduled inside your business. So it means that if someone deletes a calendar entry, but then for whatever reason, one day you need to recover an old calendar entry, you've got access to all of those in the Vault. And the cool thing about Google Vault is it's really useful for day-to-day. Even if you're not in the legal or financial services space, you can use Google Vault to find information about a client. Consider this scenario, right? You're a business owner and a customer comes to you and they say, hey, I want to sue you. That's pretty bad, right? You've got to start looking at, well, who in my company has sent this customer an email and what has been the total history over the past 12 months, right? And so you want one place to find all of that rather than having to search multiple mailboxes. Well, Google Vault will allow you to do a search right across an organization, and right across your organization, you can find a consolidated search profile, which will allow you to search Gmail, calendar events, Google Drive files, and collate them all into one place. Now, I really love this because if a customer comes back to me and they say, hey, this project isn't going really well, and I need to review all the emails sent to that customer over the course of the project, maybe even all the way back to the first interaction with the sales team, Google Vault lets me search that all in one place. And that's a great thing for me as a business owner to be able to have access to that data readily. Now, in the very rare case, but unfortunately it does happen, that an employee leaves the business and they're a bad leaver, maybe they've deleted data on the way out, maybe they've forwarded business emails to themselves, maybe they've even stolen data. You can use Google Vault for e-discovery to actually find all of the actions that were taken on someone's account. And in some cases, that may be needed if you're taking action against someone. Now, hopefully you don't have to get to that, but you can't retroactively switch on Google Vault once someone's deleted an email. It's not going to bring the old emails back. So if you're at all cautious in that, or you want to have an extra layer of protection, then consider switching on Google Vault for your account. If you'd like to work with a reseller to help get that activated, click on the link down below this video, get in touch with IT Genius. We'll do a free audit on your account, and we'll even give you a trial of Google Vault and help you get set up with it as well. Okie dokie, let's move on to our next update. So new homepage for Google Drive as well. I think I may have already covered this one. I think I did. I don't know why they've re-added that as well, but that's all right. Let's move to the next one. Okay, Google have launched a e-signature feature. They've now made it they've now made it generally available to Google Workspace individual subscribers, which is a particular plan of Google Workspace. I don't know when they're going to roll it out to everybody else. I don't know if they've rolled it out to everybody else at all because I've not yet tried it. But it is a great feature. I'm really glad that Google have released it. What it basically allows you to do, let's see if we've got a picture. Have we got a picture? Here we go. Yeah. So you can send a document for signature, and that document you can basically send off just like a DocuSign or a Hello sign, and request for someone to fill it out and then get the signature brought back to you. Great feature, Google. Thank you for bringing that in. I'm very impressed that Google have finally built this into their document suite. I've not yet personally tested it. If you're watching the live stream or the recording, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Drop me a message. Yeah, let me know what you think about it. If you like this one, if you've tested it, if you're still using DocuSign. Personally, I have still been using DocuSign, but I don't send that many signatures myself. So I'd say I'll probably switch over to the Google one pretty darn soon. All right, let's move to the next one. This is a small update, but very welcome from an accessibility point of view, and particularly if you're working with international teams. Google now allows you to record the pronunciation of your name and actually have that appear for others across Google Workspace apps. And so I presume you do this inside your user account somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's got to be in your account center, right? Allowing directory users to change their profile, account picture. It's got to be in your account. So I'm going to assume you click your name or your picture in the top right-hand corner of Gmail or Google Drive, and then from there you record your name and it'll prompt you somewhere. I'm assuming. If not, have a look for the help articles. But here you can record the pronunciation of your name, and from there you can allow users to listen to you pronouncing your name, so people know how to pronounce your name. Now, we have an international team. We have a large team in the Philippines, and there are some interesting names that are a little hard to pronounce. Now, what some people end up doing is they just westernize their names, or they go by a nickname. But for some, they really want to have their real name honored, and others will need help on how to pronounce it. Some people have just unfortunately got parents that have given them a name that doesn't sound like it's phonetically spelled. I've got a niece like that. I won't say her name. My brother probably wouldn't like that, but her name is pronounced different to how you would expect the spelling to be based on how it's spelled phonetically. And I feel for those people in life. So here's your chance. I'm pretty lucky that Peter's a pretty standardized name. Although when I go to the Philippines, my Australian pronunciation of Peter doesn't really work. It's Peter in the Philippines, which is pretty funny. So anyway, you can record your name. I've spent too much time on this one already. I'm going to move on. All right. Next feature: easy access to people, documents, building blocks, and more inside of Google Docs. What is this? Well, this is your what are they called? Smart chips. I'm getting tired now. I've been on this stream for too long. So Google allows you to use smart chips just by using the @ signal. I guess that's the announcement. Is that the announcement? We're adding more ways. You'll see an @ button. Yeah, I mean, this is from a couple of months ago, so maybe it's just already embedded in my head. I'm sure that was from before now, but whatever. Okay. If you're not using smart chips, try out smart chips. Use the @ button. You can create a task. You can link to other data. You can link to another document. All the cool things that you would expect from an @ mention menu inside the Google ecosystem. On my live stream a couple of days ago, we were testing out creating tasks. You can create a task from a Google Doc here, and that will actually appear on someone's task list inside their Google Tasks. So I said that tasks has got a lot better. It's getting pretty darn impressive now. So there you go. You can see there, you even have, when you hit the @ sign, a list of all the smart chips and all the features that are available to you. So I like that. Nice work, Google. Looking good. Okay. We're nearly done. Give myself a little shake. All right. So introducing interactive questions for YouTube videos in Google Classroom. This feature I love. This is almost like a hybrid video training learning management system and quiz built in, because what Google is building here is the ability to, on different chapter markers, actually set different quizzes with right and wrong answers. And this is so darn cool for anyone using Google Classroom for internal company training, or maybe you're a teacher and you're using it in an actual classroom setting. Maybe you're a training company and you're using Google Classroom as your learning management system. This is freaking cool. Now, we use Google Classroom for all of our staff onboarding, and our team have built a bunch of courses for this. Now, what we've done is we've built at the end of a bunch of video training a set of questions and a Google form in the form of a quiz where you have to actually have that quiz filled out to pass the course at the end. But this takes it to a whole new level. You can now have your questions built into the video at the different points of the video. So I love this kind of learning. I don't understand all of the terminology of, multimodal learning. There's plenty of people out there who are way better experts than me. But the thing that I do know about, your neurobiology is that if you can take something and change the mode, like if you're watching something, but all of a sudden in real time, you're interacting with it, or you're answering a question, or you're writing something down, then what that will do is that will actually help with the neural pathways to be built and the retention. So I love this. I'm an addict on Duolingo. Yo hablo español. Al picanto, is that small? A little bit. I'm working on it. Look out for the IT Genius Espanol channel. But this kind of feature being added into the workplace, I think is just absolutely awesome. So again, big thumbs up, Google. Well done. Love these features that are coming out. All right. Easily share Google Drive files to Google Calendar meeting attendees. This is a really small one, but if you're in the share menu, it will automatically find calendar events that you have available and upcoming and give you a prompt to share there. And I've just got to say, after saying this for the last decade, Google are making it smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter to just do everything in the Google ecosystem. Go all in on Google. If you haven't already, if you're still using another chat app instead of Google Chat, go all in on Google. If you're still using Zoom instead of Meet, go all in on Google. If you're still using Macmail or Outlook instead of Gmail online in the browser, go all in on Google. When you're using all of the tools together, they work beautifully. When I'm in Google Chat and I want to call someone, it goes immediately into Google Meet. That's because I've gone all in. When I go to talk to someone and they're using Google Calendar and they've set their out of office hours, and it lets me know, hey, you're trying to chat to this person, but they're out of the office today and they may not see your message, that's because I've gone all in on Google. So don't miss out on those features. Go all in. All right, great one there. Next up, closed caption support has been expanded to a bunch of different languages. That's not exciting in itself. Oh my God, unless you're an Australian and they've now added Australian English. That's excellent, mate. We can throw a shrimp on the barbie. Fantastic. G'day, mate. And English Philippines. Well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, when you want to say better instead of Peter, then you'll have Philippine. That's very interesting. I wonder if there's actually Tagalog, Filipino. Oh, yeah, there is. Filipino language there as well has been added. The only reason I brought this up is I wanted to show you, if you don't know already how to turn it on, you can jump into a meeting. I hope there's no one in this meeting yet, but let's give it a go. You can jump into a meeting, and once you're into a meeting, there we go. You can see my green screen studio set up here. Let me see where the feature is. All right, so I can switch on captions, and automatically anything I say is going to be transcribed live at the bottom of the meeting. Ta-da! Very cool. So there you go. Great feature. Thank you, Google. Love that one. All right. Local data storage exports your organization's workspace data into a geographic location of your choice, launching in beta. This feature is very, very interesting. When I first saw this, I thought maybe Google are letting us localize data and localize the region where our data is stored. As you know, Google is a cloud company. They have your data mirrored to geographically dispersed locations at all times. And so if one data center goes down, something happens to it, it's going to be still available from another location. However, it doesn't yet give you the choice in Google Workspace, except possibly for some enterprise plans, to localize all your data into one region. Google are bringing out some of these features, but I don't yet think they're fully available. Anyway, that's what I thought this was. But this is actually something different. It's a continual export. And to me, that sounds a bit like a backup. It's very interesting. Export your data. Now, I don't know what that data includes. I haven't checked out this feature yet. It's still in beta. It's only available to Enterprise Plus customers with Assured Controls add-on. I don't know what assured controls means. Never heard of that one before. But if you're interested in that, or if you have been using that, I'd love to know in the comments. Yeah, let me know. Basically, what this feature does is it lets you dump, it appears, your Google Drive, I assume. Like, is it all of your data? I don't know. It just says admins can export their organization's workspace data. You can export it all to GCP, to basically a storage bucket inside Google Cloud Platform. I love that feature. Looks great. Probably a good thing to use if you're a larger enterprise and you're on the enterprise plans. If you're a small business owner, not going to work because you don't have an enterprise SKU, but it would be cheaper for you to buy a third-party backup solution like Backupify, which IT Genius is a reseller of. We can give you discounts and very, very good prices on that. Or there is Spanning as well, which is another popular one. Feature for feature, they're pretty much the same. But if you're a concierge customer of IT Genius, you actually get a couple of your licenses for free and a very, very good deal on that because we have thousands of customers that we have that deployed to. So if you're interested in workspace backup, if you've not yet backed up your data, it is a risk. Unfortunately, things do happen, usually human error, very unlikely for Google to lose your data, but unfortunately quite likely for you to either accidentally delete something or for a staff member to delete something. So check that out. Click on the link down below if you want to chat to our team about that. Okay, next feature here is Google Calendar appointment scheduling. They've added some new features. If you're not yet using calendar scheduling, it's pretty darn cool. You can now add co-hosts. So if you've got multiple people that need to deliver on an appointment, you can have co-hosts there, which is pretty cool. You can create a calendar schedule onto a secondary calendar. So if it needs to go to something like a group calendar, you can schedule an event onto a group calendar. What else? Delegate access. That's very cool. So someone else can actually manage your appointment schedule if they've been set up as a delegate for your email. That is very cool. All right. Check calendars for availability. I love that feature. What it does is it means that if you've got, let's say, a Gmail account or a family calendar or something like that that you're using for your calendar events and you don't want your work schedule to be scheduled over your calendar events in your personal life, well, you can have it check additional calendars that you subscribe to so it doesn't double book that. I really like that one. I guess you could, I assume you could also check like public holidays calendar so it doesn't schedule stuff on public holiday. I don't know. Anyway, love that feature. Great work, Google. That's a very cool one. If you're not yet using the scheduling tool, again, go all in on Google. If you're using Calendly or Schedule Once or one of the other ones, don't worry about that. Use the Google one. I mean, it's got most of the features that the other calendar apps have. And you can even, I believe, take payments now. That was a recent feature that was released. Okay, we've come to the end of the line. It's the last one. You can now pin multiple people in Google Meet. Not that exciting, but if you haven't seen the ability to pin, I really like that. You can pin, if you've got a big meeting, but you just want to pin a couple of people because, I don't know, maybe you only care about looking at them for whatever reason, or you want to pin a person alongside their presentation, then you've got some cool features for pinning there. So go ahead and check that out inside Google Meet. If you want to see all of the updates, you can go to the Google Workspace Updates blog, or you can just tune into our channel. Make sure you subscribed if you're not already subscribed. We cover these every couple of months. We're going to be doing these a little bit more often. I'm making more content this year. And if you would like help with anything in the Google Workspace world, head along to IT Genius. We've got a quick fix feature there, quick fix product. If you need something fixed, just like right now, something's broken, if your DNS is broken, if you want help with fixing something in a spreadsheet, if you need a policy changed in your admin panel, if you can't find the button, then go for a quick fix. A couple $100 and our team will get anything you need sorted for you in the Google Workspace ecosystem. If you want unlimited quick fixes, if you want all-you-can-eat support for everything in the Google Workspace, if you want to do a project or a specific initiative or a data migration or cleaning up your Google Drive, or if you want to work on some more advanced automations, if you want to build a dashboard inside Google Data Studio, we can do all those things for you under our Concierge program. Head along to itgenius.com, check out Concierge, and if you're unsure of how you need help or if you're unsure of how we can provide value, look at this button right here, free consultation. Easy, jump straight on that consultation, drop in your details there. Our team will be happy to just talk through your business, what's going on for you right now, whether or not you're getting value out of the Google platform, for most people, for most business owners that work with us, and I know because I've seen this thousands of times in the form fills that people put in, they say, you know what, I've got Google Workspace, but I've got this little feeling in the back of my mind that I'm just not getting the most out of it. I don't know what I don't know. And people tell us that over and over and over again. And we've got a professional, dedicated team, nearly 60 people across our group now, who all day long work with Google Workspace and all day long want to help our customers get more out of the platform. So if that's you, if you're interested in that, the consultation is free. We're not going to give you a hard sell. We're just there to provide as much value as possible. And if you want to work with us, if we can give you value, then awesome. We'd love to have you there. Cool. Make sure you're subscribed. Say hello. If you want to say hello on socials, if you're watching the replay or anything like that, drop us a little comment and say hi. If you haven't already checked out all of our videos, please go ahead and do so. You can find me on Instagram. Head along to peter.tv. I'll put that in the chat for everyone. Oh, it doesn't even allow me to put my details in the chat, but that's fine. Go to your web browser, go to peter.tv. You'll see my website there with all the links to all my social media channels, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.